What is up, guys? This is DJ Cade back once again, this time with part 2 of my online Discord tournament at the Pogo Coliseum Discord server. And my next opponent is going to be 100k Collector, and this was the type of team that I was really afraid of in this tournament because of that Sableye. Because I noticed that on my team, I didn't have any charm users. I didn't have anything that offered a really good counter to Sableye, and I had a feeling that going into this match that 100k Collector was going to know that. And so I decided to go with the team of Qwilfish, Azumarill, and Tyranitar because I thought that those three Pokemon would not only give me the most advantages against the rest of his team lineup, but also give me a chance against Sableye as well. So how does this lineup do? We will see. Alright, so the Sableye does come in right away, and I'm actually pretty thankful I've got the Qwilfish out because I figure that Water Gun is going to do a lot of damage. I decide not to shield the Foul Play, thinking I'll resist it. I don't know why. That was a really big mistake, and I end up taking a lot of damage when I could have shielded that, maybe stayed in the game a little bit longer. At least we got the Acid Spray on him, and now he switches into the Toxicroak. I probably should have switched out there since I still had the ability to switch out, but I figured this would be a good matchup for us. I decide to shield whatever's coming in, even if it's the Mud Bomb that's going to do neutral damage to us. But I really don't think that I have anything to worry about. Oh, yeah. That's what I forgot about. I must have forgotten about it in the last match, and boy, he just cleans my clock. And I'm not sure why I didn't decide to shield there. I guess I was just nervous about saving the shield for something else. And I just, in the moment, I just kind of let it slip from my mind for some reason that Azumarill is weak to poison and he has Sludge Bomb. And then at that point, he was just able to sweep up so fast. As you could see, I could barely even keep up with what was happening. I have this set at about 2 times speed, but yeah, that's what happens when you don't shield in key places. Like, what have I learned from my last tournament? You gotta shield some of these attacks. Well, will we learn our lesson in the next match? Let's find out. So for this match, I thought I was going to see that Toxicroak again, so I decided to take the Tyranitar out, knowing that that wasn't really going to be a good fit against this team, and I decided to bring in the Venomoth in case he decided to go with Golbat or Toxicroak. So let's see what they bring in, and let's see how this team does. Alright, so Azumarill comes in, and Skuntank comes in, and now I'm thinking, oh boy, this isn't really all that good, so I want to charge up a little bit, maybe for our first charge move, but he gets to a charge move before we can, and I figure it wasn't going to be a poison-type move, but so I don't block it, so at least I called that, and I do get the charge move to go through on that. I don't know if he was expecting a play rough or not, but we're going to shield this next one because we want to stay alive, thinking that we can finish off this Skuntank. And we do finish off the Skuntank, but he does have one of our shields. And I don't know what's going to be coming in next. They're going to be sending in the Toxicroak. And so I decide to switch out into the Qwilfish. And I decide not to shield the Mud Bomb, not even thinking that, you know, he can't have the Sludge Bomb yet. I should probably shield this. It'll be a Mud Bomb. And so I decide to shield this one, thinking that this one's going to be a Mud Bomb. And at least that was a good call. But the Venomoth, now he's got 2 shields with the Sableye, and I'm not really going to be able to do too much damage to Sableye. At least I get the buff here, so I'm feeling like maybe I'll be able to survive this. Maybe I'll be able to get to 1 more charge move, and I do get to 1 more charge move. So maybe, just maybe, I can come back to win this, but, you know, they've got both shields, and they're just going to send in a charge move here, and that's GG. So 100k Collector absolutely whooped me in this tournament. Like, I got bodied, just absolutely bodied. Like, very well played. And right now I'm at a point where I'm 1-2 in this tournament. Can we turn it around? Can we at least get a tying record going into this last game? Well, we'll find out. My last match is against Jesus Cheetos, and he's got a fairly interesting team, some Pokemon that I haven't encountered yet, like that Togekiss and that Alolan Marowak, and I wanted to play it a little bit more safe. I wanted to stick with this particular team of Qwilfish, Tyranitar, and Venomoth, and see if that could win me this match, because I do see a lot of other Pokemon that Venomoth could be effective against, including Togekiss. Maybe a Venomoth could resist those charms being a poison type. So we'll see how this first match plays out. Can we win this first game? Alright, so the Qwilfish comes out, and the Azumarill comes out, and we do like this matchup. We've learned that this is a really decent matchup. We can stay in here. I'm not going to shield whatever this is, because it's going to resist both the Play Rough and the Ice Beam, so we're going to send in our own Acid Spray, and we're going to get that defense debuff, and we do get the shield, which is really, really good for us, because Azumarill can actually survive those Acid Sprays, you know, fairly well. It only does like 1/8 of his health or something like that. So we're going to go for another one, and we're going to get another debuff. He decides not to shield that one, but now those water guns, even though they're being neutral damage or perhaps even resisted, it's going to be doing just a ton of damage, and all we're going to have to do here is just send in one Confusion, and that's going to be it. So now, what is he going to send in next? He's taking some time to think about it. Going to go with the Togekiss, and that Charm is still going to be able to do a ton of damage despite Poison type resisting Fairy. And so we're going to send in our Tyranitar, and it's going to be a shootout here, because we can take out each other extremely quick. And this match is actually going pretty quick for me, but he sends in Toxicroak. I'm able to bring in the Venomoth again, chip him down, and he takes the first game. So, man, that all happened kind of fast. It was kind of a risk to bring in that Tyranitar, because I thought maybe I could hit that Togekiss for super effective damage with the Smackdowns, but Charm was just so strong. And that was the wrong move, and we lose this first game. So I'm looking at a situation where it's like, oh my gosh, am I really going to go 1-3 for the first time? I mean, I knew some of these Discord players would be tough. I didn't think they'd be quite that tough, but, you know, they've been proving me wrong this whole tournament. So for this next match, I'm choosing Tentacruel, Azumarill, and Tyranitar, because I wanted a little bit of extra poison charm resistance, and I figured that Tentacruel is going to be a whole lot tankier. Now that I know that Jesus Cheetos likes to use that Togekiss, will he bring it back in? Will this strategy work for me? Let's see. Alright, so I send out Tentacruel first, and we've got an Azumarill lead here, and this is really positive for us. This is the first time that Tentacruel is going to come in really, really handy for us. Unfortunately, we don't have very much for fast moves. We decide to tank whatever comes in because I figure we'll resist it. He switches out right away, and he switches into the Toxicroak, and we hit him with the Sludge Wave, which is still going to do a lot of damage. Do we shield this one? For some reason we don't shield it. I don't know why. We really should have. Maybe I thought it would be better to just let him go down and conserve our shields, but we're able to send in the Azumarill, and we're able to take out the Toxicroak, and now I've got a charge move ready for whatever comes in. This was not the correct charge move, so I did make a little bit of a mistake there, and he's going to get to a charge move probably. He baited my shield with the Ice Beam, so that was another mistake we made. We try to send in the Play Rough, but he's going to block that, so we're even on shields. I decide not to shield this, thinking it was going to be another Ice Beam, and I was right about that one. So he didn't get the second shield bait on me, and he didn't call that Play Rough. So that was a very good move for me. But now I have a little bit of built-up energy, so I can send in the Ice Beam on this Togekiss, and this is good for us because we're able to do a little bit of damage. And this is another matchup where it's just going to be a shootout, but I figure this time I've got him. This time he's not going to be able to get me down, and that Tyranitar is going to take me the second game, so that was the strategy we needed, thankfully. So for this last match, I decided to change it up a little bit, and I've noticed that throughout all these matches, and especially throughout the recording of these, that I hadn't used my Toxicroak yet, and I thought, you know what, maybe Toxicroak would be a good thing to use against this team, like against the Togekiss, against the Azumarill, perhaps even against the Alolan Marowak. I wasn't really sure how that match played out, but I imagine the Mud Bomb would be able to do some good damage against the Alolan Marowak if he decided to bring it in. So will this be what we need? Like, this is the match that will determine the 2-2 or the 1-3 for us. So can we avoid that fate? Let's see. Alright, I send out the Azumarill first. He sends out the Venomoth first. And this is okay. We're both going to be doing some decent damage to each other, but Venomoth is still going to be able to get to either Silver Wind or Poison Fang really quick. I decide not to shield because I know Poison Fang isn't really that strong. I figured he can tank one. But we get a shield there, and we're actually staying fairly even with him on health. So I decide I'm going to shield now and put him at the point where he's going to have to shield to stay alive, to stay up, to keep up with me, and we get both of his shields, which is great. So knowing that we have the Toxicroak and the Quillfish in the back, I wanted to do as much damage to this Venomoth as possible. We decided to send in the Quillfish, that water gun damage to take him out. And so Toxicroak comes in, and this is a pretty good matchup for us. We're going to be able to hit him with that Acid Spray right away and take his defense down. And now these water guns are just going to be tearing through him, right? And I don't think he's even going to get to another Mud Bomb before he can go down. And now we have the Toxicroak in the back, and this match is a race to see who can I get. I get to the Sludge Bomb. He's got no shields left, and we take that match, and look at how much health I had left. I was just popping off over here at the house. I was just like, holy cow, that was so close. Like, I was looking over at my girlfriend like, you should have seen that. Like, that was insane. Oh man. So I managed to get a 2-1 against Jesus Cheetos, and I managed to go 2-2 in this tournament. So let's take a look at the final rankings here. And I'd like to give congratulations to 100K Collector, who absolutely cleaned my clock and absolutely swept this tournament with an absolutely undefeated run. This guy is somebody that everybody's going to have to watch out for coming up into Season 2. Like, he just absolutely destroyed everybody this tournament, and there was no two-way ties or anything. There was no points about it. This was pretty much an undisputed victory for 100K Collector. Let's see if we can move this over a little bit here for you guys. Yes. So as we can see here, he went undefeated. I actually tied for third place. I was actually the highest ranking out of all of the people who got 2 wins in this tournament. So that's a little something I can kind of be proud of, I guess. But as you can see, some pretty standard teams here. A couple of Togekiss and that Sableye. Like, I learned something in this tournament. I learned something about the whole Twilight meta when I played this, is that if you're going to play it, if you're going to go up against Sableye especially, have a charm user, have some way to handle that Sableye, because Sableye can absolutely mess you up, and he did that last game. Granted, I could have been a little bit wiser with my shields, but everybody played incredible matches, and I can't wait to bring you guys more tournaments from Pogo Coliseum, so watch for those in the future. I just wanted to say thank you once again to the people over at the Discord for running a great tournament and keeping everybody going on friendship levels and managing tournaments. And we've even got a couple completely original tournaments that are completely unique to Pogo Coliseum. So if you want to get involved in some really interesting off-meta stuff, some non-Silph Arena, some non-official stuff, there's going to be some stuff over at the Coliseum that you might want to check out. And, you know, people get pretty competitive there. And the latest cup that I'm competing in right now is actually a user-made cup. and it was all dreamed up by the people who are already members there. So it's just fantastic to see the community coming together and able to support its own scene in a way that, you know, like when the Sylph Arena takes some time off, you know, these guys pick up the slack. So it's just a really great website. I can't wait to bring you that coverage of that. But until the next time, which will be my local Twilight Cup, take care and have a good one. I love you guys. Peace.